Hello everybody! It's Will, or hashtag bakingactor. I'm gonna make you an apple pie. It's as easy as apple pie, all American tradition. And this is a recipe that is a combination from allrecipes.com for the crust, and then sweetlittlebluebird.com for the apple insert. And it is amazing, delicioso. I have done a little bit to bring my own flair to it. But anyhow, here is the way that you make the crust. I'm making the crust just a little bit bigger so that I have a little extra just in case I run out. And it's real simple to do. I had to do a little bit of math, but thanks to my 4th grade teacher, I was able to do it, okay? So the recipe calls for 2 cups of flour and 2/3 cup of shortening and a tablespoon of salt. I am making it a third bigger, so I'm doing 3 cups of flour, 3/3 or 1 cup of shortening, and a tablespoon and a third-ish of salt. So it's real simple. Basically, the ratio is, for every cup, it's a 1/3 cup of shortening. Got it? All right. So this thing, I've sifted my flour here. I'm going to add my salt, and then I'm going to go ahead and, I guess I'll use my little friend here, my whisk, and whisk all this together so that the salt is pretty evenly combined in the flour. Oh, getting stuff everywhere. All right, so if you watch my tartlet tutorial, then you will notice that I use my hands to rub in the butter. But this is a different way to incorporate the sticky stuff into the dough. And it is called, well, I'm gonna call it knifing. So you use a knife, basically. So I'm just gonna cut my shortening here into thirds. Whoop. Maybe not plop it into the flour mixture, but allow it to drop into the flour mixture. And when I said thirds, what I really meant was fourths. So here we go. So basically the idea here is to cut in this stuff, all right? And here's what it looks like once I get it to here. Kind of looks like that tart shell crust, except it's got butter in it. I'm sorry, except this has shortening instead of butter. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same technique. I've got cold water. Get them dirty. Riding dirty. Riding dirty. All right, water, it's not quite coming together. Is just pour. Ooh. Some of your water. That was for the dog. Some of your water out of the ice and put it in here. I ended up adding about another tablespoon-ish of water, so that was 10 tablespoons, if you will, or a little over 2/3 of a cup of water. And now it's time to divide the dough. So I'm going to cut this in half. Look inside there. It's gonna puff up real nice. Okay, then cover in saran wrap, put it in the fridge 20 minutes or so while you're making your insert or your apples. Make sure you get all the skin off the apples. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, but you never know. Sometimes the skins are a little tricky. All right, then I cut the ends off my apple, cut them in half. Now this is where the melon baller comes in. I take the big end of my melon baller and just scoop out the core. If you have a better way to core an apple, please tell me, please. Tell me, leave me a comment, let me know. All right, so scoop out the core here of your apple. Okay. And then I'm cutting these in about 1/4-inch pieces or so. 1/4-inch pieces, putting them in my bowl. And because I am not as quick as I'm sure some other people are at doing this, after I get about 2 apples in here, I just put a little bit of lemon juice in. Oh, oven is preheated. 425 degrees. Okay, so here's my dough. It's been chilling like a villain while I was making the rest of my apples, right? So first, you have to wake up the dough. Basically, how you get this size is I just use it as a template. Put it down, make sure there's about an inch in diameter, or around the perimeter. I guess that would be the circumference. Using math a lot in baking, right? Inch there, and then just take a sharp knife and cut it out. All right, so then you can use your technique of rolling it back if you want. I just like to peel it up, put it in. You don't have to grease this. There's enough shortening in it that you don't have to grease it. Put it in here and leave all the edges unfinished for now. We'll cut them in a minute. For sure, I know I'm going to do these, so I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 of these out. Set aside. Here is the tricky part. Yeah, that's one thing I say. If you want people to know that you cooked it, they'll make it look homemade. So, I'm going to make this into a lattice. I don't have enough pieces. Actually, I probably do. Just spread them out a little bit. Look there. Now here's the struggle. This one right here has got to go over top of that one. So, I'm going to pull it back and snag it in there. So do I have over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. Boom. There's your lattice. I had success with this last time. We'll see what happens. Come roll it back just like you would any pie crust. Whoa. Ho. Ho. Then roll it out. Now in the sides. What we do is cut. Cut around the edge, sharp knife, cut all the excess dough off of here. Et voila. All we've got here is dough, a little dough, and some apples. So there's not a whole lot of flavor. So here is the sauce. Woo. Gotta make a roux out of a stick of butter. Butter is melted. Now goes in a 3 tablespoons of flour. Now I've put in a quarter cup of water. Now this isn't water from Flint, Michigan. What this is here is a quarter cup of water, and then I took a tablespoon of water out and put a tablespoon of vanilla extract in. We're going in here. That'll cool that down a little bit. Then, for the flavor, we've got a half cup of sugar, half cup of brown sugar, and then like a teaspoon of cinnamon, teaspoon of allspice, and a teaspoon of nutmeg. About. If you don't like those spices, by means, don't use them. But apple pie always tastes better to me with some cinnamon. Keep stirring this. You want to bring it to a boil. Let it simmer. And cook a little bit of that water out of there for about 5 minutes. It's because of this. So you take this mixture, beautiful caramel sauce, and you just drizzle it over top of all these. All right. So now I stick my apple nestled here in the caramel sauce. Really hot. Really hot. Reduce the heat to 350 and then it cooks about another hour. Okay? So 425 for the first 15 minutes. Here we go. Okay. So, look how cute these are. How's the oven? All right. I put these in for about 40 more minutes, and some of the apples are starting to brown pretty good, so I want to make sure that it gets out. But what's going to happen in just a second while they're cooling is this steam that's been created in there will go puff up like that, and it'll be really cool. It's really cool the first time I saw it. So anyway, I am Will, or hashtag bakingactor. Make sure you subscribe and like my page. There's all the links to my Instagram and all that stuff, social media wise, on the comments below as well. I'll make sure that I put the recipe for you. And these are my apple pie babies.